Let's talk about the new live-action Aladdin movie. Spoilers! This was the first time when I went to see a Disney live-action remake, and I didn't think this movie is completely useless, it contributes nothing. There's some good things and some bad things, and in this review I'm gonna list roughly 10 on each side, and for every bad thing I'm gonna give you a positive thing. Problem number 10. The music doesn't always work very well with the images we're seeing on screen. Arabian Nights! And there's somebody getting eaten by a cave. I felt that it didn't quite fit. Also, there's the additional song that they've added for Jasmine. It's a little too Christina Aguilera. On the positive side, everyone in this is actually a pretty decent singer. You know, there's no... Emma Watson is not in it. Problem number 9. The dialogue is sometimes a little bit stiff and kind of like a kids' movie dialogue. What's so special about a lamp? That sort of thing can get a little bit annoying. On the positive side, what wasn't annoying at all were all the sidekicks. There's Abu the monkey, there's the carpet, there's Iago the parrot, arguably there's Raja the tiger as well. So there are so many sidekicks. None of them were annoying. All of them were actually really likable, and they didn't try to give them more of a part than they should have in the story, which I thought was really great. Problem number 8. The attempt to replicate Robin Williams' performance. Now, they don't do this the entire time, thank God. Robin Williams was ad-libbing. It's his personality, it's his style of acting. Even though Will Smith is also a comic and he also kind of has this fast-talking style, you can just very easily tell that this is not quite his thing and it doesn't quite work. On the positive side, a lot of the comedy in this movie actually really works. It got a giggle out of me several times while I was watching. The comedy is cute, it's innocent, it doesn't go disgusting at any point, which I hated when movies do that. Problem number 7. There is no character development during this movie. The Sultan is the only person at the end of the movie who changes his opinion or his view on anything at all. On the positive side, they don't overdo drama and misunderstandings. I really hate it when there's a misunderstanding and the characters are suddenly like, oh, I can't talk to you anymore, no, you lied to me, and it's all so dramatic and, you know, violence. Problem number 6. It doesn't feel like there are any real stakes in this movie. Nobody's in trouble for more than 2 minutes, everything gets resolved way too quickly, and at no point are you actually afraid for a character. On the positive side, there are more stakes added for the genie in the story, and there's more humanity to his character. They give him a little bit of a love story, which I thought was really adorable, because in the animated movie, he's this magical creature who's really fun to watch, but you don't entirely see him as the same type of person as you and me. You don't see him as somebody who can really get hurt or somebody who really has dreams and aspirations. Whereas here, he pretty much seems like a real person, which I thought was amazing. Problem number 5. The really questionable morality of the characters. Aladdin just steals everything from everyone. It's all played for laughs. We are all meant to think that that's okay what he's doing, but there's not even any good reason given for why he's a thief. He doesn't seem to be starving. We are not actually told why he can't just get a job. And then the princess as well kind of just joins him in his shenanigans at the beginning. She's just really enjoying the fun. They've just stolen some stuff from some people and now they're running away, and hey, they fooled the gods and probably injured the gods very badly, but hey, shenanigans, it's great! On the positive side, they make a very interesting parallel between Jafar and Aladdin. We learn that Jafar used to be a pickpocket as well. He started out on the streets and then he kind of rose through the ranks and became the vizier. Speaking of Jafar, I mean, what have they done to him? Jafar is a fairly threatening villain in the original. This Jafar is a whiny child who never actually succeeds in being threatening in any way, shape or form. And in fact, Jafar would be nothing without Iago. Iago practically does all of his job for him in this movie. He finds out all the useful information, he gets him out of prison, and Iago is not a fully realized character even. Not like in the cartoon, he doesn't have that much personality. So basically, this bird is doing a better job than you at being the villain. On the positive side, there's a character who was not really in the original, who's been added to this movie, and she really works surprisingly well, and that's Jasmine's handmaiden, who becomes the love interest for the genie. And she's really fun, she's adorable, they do a really good job of giving her personality. Problem number 3. Some of the CGI is really awful. I don't know what's wrong with Disney. They're a company that makes animated movies. Why can they not animate? Animate a good tiger. I realize it's probably expensive, but you're Disney. And then the biggest offense is the genie in his blue giant genie form. That thing looks awful. Thank God they've made the decision to have Will Smith just look like Will Smith for a good portion of the movie, but the blue thing is in it way too much. On the positive side, the movie as a whole looks gorgeous. It's colorful, it's bright, it's fun, it's very pretty. Problem number 2. This is a big one, guys. A really big one. Disney's attempt at feminism. So close. So close. And yet so far. Here's what I'm talking about. In this movie, Jasmine is not just a princess who wants some adventure. She is this smart, independent woman who wants to take care of her country, and she actually wants to be the Sultan after her father. So far so good, no problem with that whatsoever. Here's the problem. In the first 3 minutes, the movie completely assassinates her character, shows her very clearly why she would be an insanely incompetent sultan and she shouldn't get the job. Princess Jasmine, who claims throughout the entire movie that she'll be a great sultan and she wants to help the people and she knows how to do it and she's very smart and clever. In the first 2 minutes of this movie, she's at the market, sees a couple of kids who are hungry, gives them a couple of loaves of bread, not intending to pay and not understanding why this is a problem. So you're telling me that this person would be capable of governing a country? She's an idiot! On the positive side, they had a good idea to begin with. I love the notion of Jasmine becoming the Sultan. That's fantastic. I love that they've given her more to do and it feels quite natural, it doesn't feel forced, it doesn't feel out of character when she's running around and helping Aladdin. I just wish they hadn't made that massive mistake at the beginning. You don't need that to happen. He could have saved her from something else. And the number one problem with this movie is that it consists entirely of gigantic plot holes. It literally has no internal logic whatsoever. Where do I even begin with this? Let's start with the genie's powers. They make no sense. I mean, they never made sense, but they make even less sense here. Aladdin says that he wants to get out of the cave, but he doesn't drop the lamp. And later when they're talking about it, Aladdin is like, oh, but that wasn't technically a wish because I didn't drop the lamp, so that was just you doing that of your own volition. And the genie's like, ah, cool, you tricked me. And I was immediately like, but no, that should not be possible. Because if the genie can just do stuff just because he wants to, even if it's not an official wish, then why is anything in this movie ever a problem? Because later on, Aladdin is dying and the genie's trying to save him, and the genie's like, oh my god, he's unconscious, how am I gonna do this? Because he has to actually say a wish, otherwise I can't save him. And I'm like, yeah, dude, you can. Because you do things without him asking the entire time. And then when he does ask for something, you don't actually fulfill the wish the way that it has been phrased. I want to become a prince. Becoming a prince means that you actually become a prince. You are now descended from royalty, you have royal parents, or you rule a country, and you know, it's a country that exists. You are a prince. That's what being a prince means. He doesn't become a prince. Basically, the genie just dresses him up in nice clothes, decides to torture Abu by turning him into an elephant, even though he then creates a bunch of other elephants and dancers and everything out of thin air. So he doesn't do anything besides give him a bit of a makeover. There's a bunch of these inconsistencies, and I'm not gonna list them all because that would take forever, but they are a very, very big problem. On the plus side, the best thing about this movie are the performances from the main cast and the supporting characters as well. As I already mentioned, the only performance I wasn't crazy about was Jafar, but I don't think that's the actor's fault. I think that's direction and writing, and he just couldn't salvage it, which is understandable. The biggest kind of surprise for me was Will Smith as the genie. Now, I've seen Will Smith do horrible things in his acting career, and I've also seen him do some really good stuff. This is good stuff. I was really surprised by how committed he seemed to be to the role. None of these people are phoning their performances in, which is really great to see, especially in a children's movie. I spent the entire movie going, oh, you guys are really going for it, that's so great. So, in summary, this was a noble effort from Disney. It has heart, and it has a lot of effort behind it, and I can appreciate that. So, should you watch this movie?